my mom's journey from RDA to RD8.
Okay, so this video is just my personal journey to dental hygiene. This is the application process I had to go through, things that I had to do in order to get into the program. I'm gonna go over like interview questions they asked me, just so if you're going through the same thing or you want to try to get into dental hygiene, you kind of have an idea of where to start if you don't know. Okay, so first thing is research schools. So my area is Las Vegas. Unfortunately, there's only one dental hygiene program in our city, and that means that every dental assistant, every person that wants to become a dental hygienist is all going to try to get into that one school that only takes 24 students. With that being said, it's a regular 2-year program and then 4-year bachelor's that you can go through. I personally did not feel like going to a 4-year school or even a traditional 2-year school. I didn't want to go through all the things that you have to go through. With that particular school, it's you do your prereqs and you apply to the program and hopefully you get in. I started to research around my area other schools that also had dental hygiene. So I looked into Arizona has a program, I believe it's Carrington. Concord, which is the school I go to now, also has a location in Colorado, and they have locations in Cali. So everyone's process is a little bit different, but I mean, pretty much test-wise and stuff like that, you're probably gonna do something, if not the exact same thing I went through, you're gonna probably go through something very, very similar. So I'll just start with the actual research of the school. So like I said, this was not the first school I researched. I researched other schools. How did I get to this one? I actually applied to another school. I just did not get in. And I mean, it is what it is. Either you're gonna stop there and just be okay with that and never try again, but I decided to try again. I personally took it as a sign that God did not want me to go that far away from my family, and that's why he did not bless me to be able to attend that program. Instead, I'm now in a program that is only about 3.5 hours away from Vegas. So, I mean, I get to be closer to my family versus being a whole like plane ride from my family and 8+ hours away from them. So, I mean, that's just everyone's personal preference, but yeah. So research the school will be my number one thing. And don't give up. Like, if you know that you are on this earth and you are meant to do dental hygiene, it's gonna be hard, but I mean, go for it. You only got one life anyways, right? So why waste it? At least you can say you try. At least attempt it. At least get out there. At least try. I'll get into my background in another video, but definitely try. So actual applying to the school. So what did I have to do? So the first thing I did was actually go look at the school. Like, yeah, you can read online and all this stuff. You can talk to somebody over the phone, but when you actually get to the school and you try to like feed off the energy of the other students that's walking around and all that other stuff, and they don't know who you are. Like, you can ask people, like, say you're in the bathroom, hey, how do you like this school? Go Google them, reviews, Yelp, all that, see what people are saying. I actually did post a little like Yelp question and actually ask somebody like, hey, how's the dental hygiene program? And a actual patient that goes to that program who's had a cleaning, she wrote like this awesome, like basically telling me how the program was. And I'm like, if that's from a patient's perspective, somebody who's getting poked in their mouth and they had a good experience, then hey, you know, okay. All right, so I went to the school, I toured, and I sat down with an advisor. I'm not gonna say the advisor's name, but I sat down with an advisor. So you don't have to stay with the advisor that they give you. Like, it's just random. If you feel like you don't click with that person, because this person is gonna be a part of your life the whole time you're at school. So if you don't click with that person, tell somebody and switch advisors. I'm gonna tell you right now, I switched advisors. I did not start with the same advisor that I'm with now. So at this appointment, I guess it is an appointment. You set up an appointment to see an advisor. unless you get lucky and you just walk in. I'm obviously 3 something hours away, so I set up an appointment to make sure that I could get in. So the very first thing is they're going to give you like a mini interview. It's not going to feel like an interview, but they're going to start asking you key questions like, hey, when did you know that you want to be a dental hygienist? They're going to ask you things like, do you know what a hygienist does? Are you in the dental field? Do you have experience in the dental field? All this stuff, just to kind of fill you out. Like, is it something that you said, hey, I want to be a dental hygienist? Or is it something that you've really like been like, okay, like, I know that I want to be a dental hygienist? Because the programs, wherever you go, every program that I researched, like, there's not going to be more than 30 students getting into that program. So they don't want to just be like, hey, you come in, hey, you come in, hey, you come in, and you don't finish the program. One, it looks bad on the school. And two, you're just going to waste everybody's time. So I'm going to say it's not an interview, but they're filling you out. So it's like a mini interview. Second, they're going to go through what you have to do to actually apply. So this actually paper, y'all going to see me look down, is because the actual things, this is like his actual handwriting from the advisor that I saw. Like, he was jotting this down and he gave this to me, and then I left. So the exam. So the very first exam that you have to do is called the Wonderlic. You have to score a certain amount of points. So for me, it was 20 or higher. Basically, it's kind of like a test that lets them kind of know, like, or do you have common sense? Like, are you have enough going on up there to like get through these classes? That's the very first thing. The questions aren't hard. It's more, I felt like it was more strategic, but everybody's like different. You can definitely Google practice tests online, which helps. But ultimately, it's 50 questions, I believe, but you only get like, I want to say like maybe 15 minutes, if that. So basically, if you read it and you don't know immediately the answer, I'm not saying try to answer it, because it's based off of how many you get right within that time span. So if you get through all 50 questions, but you only answered 25 right, then you're good, right? But if you spend time trying to read every question, trying to do every question, and you only got to question 20, but you missed 5 of those, then guess what? Your score is only 15 and you didn't get it. Whereas you could have just kept going through the test and just did a like once over, answered the questions, not spending too much time on your question. And you probably, with process of elimination and, like I said, common sense, you probably would have got like at least half of them correct, getting you within that 20 range that you needed to be in. Next, so after you take the Wonderlic, so me personally, I took the Wonderlic and the same day. I had already been applying to dental hygiene program before I applied to this one. So I already knew in the back of my mind, like, hey, you're going to have to take the HESI, you're going to have to take it. Not the HESI, I mean the Wonderlic. So you're going to have to take the Wonderlic. So I already knew. So I had already studied for it. Next, you're going to have to take the HESI. That's the next test you have to take. So the HESI, depending on your school, is just depending on what they test on. The school that I'm going to right now, it is vocab, like words, definitions, reading comprehension, read a passage, answer questions about it, and then of course math. You have like 3 hours and you have to at least get a 70. Don't get discouraged. My admissions rep actually gave me a video to like recap on some math things, because I'm 28. I'll be 29 later after I post this video. But so it's been a while since I sat down and did math. So I watched this video. I watched it maybe a million times. And I just sat there. I even watched it the morning before I took the HESI, just the math, because I knew that math was going to be the one that got me, if anything got me. So after I took the test, that was pretty much it. I actually took the test. I took a road trip. I was taking my daughter to SeaWorld, and it's on the way. So we actually stopped in the morning, took the test, and then went to SeaWorld. I was super happy. You get your results right after that. You go to the admissions person. I believe I got like a 80 something, in that range, like 80, whatever. So after that, so you already did your 2 tests, right? So you're basically like, okay, you're getting it now. So after that, they're gonna go into the big one, which is money. How are you going to pay for school? I was in the Army for 7 years, so I have a GI Bill. Not everybody has the opportunity to serve in the military. Everybody doesn't have the opportunity of having rich parents or parents that can co-sign for them for a $80,000 loan, okay? So you got to figure that out. I'm going to tell you right now, you cannot work during a dental hygiene program. I'm about to say it again for y'all. Not an accelerated one. My program is accelerated. So whereas you would go to school and you would do your prereqs, then get into the program, and then do 9 months of school, and then have a break, and then do 9 more months of school, and then you like graduate. Mine is the prereqs are in the program. So for 23 months, I'm doing prereqs straight into dental hygiene classes. So since it's accelerated, I'm at school from basically when we start our actual dental hygiene classes. They already told us you're going to be at school all day. You're going to have to work on Saturdays. You're going to have 12-hour days. You're going to be here a lot. Like, you guys will see each other a lot. You're pretty much going to be family. That's how much y'all going to see each other. So right then and there, that might throw a lot of people off. So since you're putting all this money into the program, you want to make sure that you're giving it your all. So after you do the test, figure out how you're going to pay for school. Now the points go into effect. So my school has a point system. So it's a dental hygiene weighted selection point system scoring sheet. So of course they're going to have 1 million people apply to dental hygiene. It's a good career. It's good money for the amount of time that you have to go to school. So it's a lot of pros versus cons when it comes to dental hygiene. And of course, if you're a dental assistant already or already in the dental field, of course you want to progress. In the dental field, it's dental assistant, dental hygienist, and then the dentist. So of course you don't want, some people just don't want to be down here. Some people want to progress. So, step up. So obviously all these people, they're going to get a lot of applicants. There's not just going to be 24 and they can just be like, okay, all 24, you guys can go. Good luck. No. So they do a point system, and I'll upload the point sheet that I'm looking at right now. So the point sheet, as you guys saw, it is points based off of experience, whether you're an RDA or CDA. You can get points for classes that you already took, if you already have a degree, and then based on your HESI score, and then your interview. So this isn't the little mini interview I'm talking about. This is your last interview. So after you done everything, so I took the test, I have my financial aid appointment, I did fill out all my papers for like verifying my employment, how many years of experience with my office. So basically it was a paper that said, hey, Serena has been working at your office for this amount of time, please sign here. And it was signed by my doctor. And I brought it to the school, and they did all my points like that. So after you start getting your stuff together for your points, your advisor is going to have you make a binder, and this binder is going to go in with you to your interview. So basically it's everything that you're saying you should get a point for, and a little bit more. So in my binder, I had my RDA certificate, I had my dental assisting certificate, I had a summary of the classes that I took somewhere else, that way they could compare them for transfer credit, had my transcript from that college, all that stuff, basically, so that I already knew how many points I kind of was going into the interview with, but then they could see kind of also like, okay, here's her stuff to back up why she's getting the points that she's getting. So after that, I do my interview. So your advisor is going to go over, dressing professionally, basically what your interview is going to entail. So, interview process. So let me tell you right now, my interview is not what I expected. If you follow me on Instagram already, then you already know what I wore to my interview, but I'll basically insert a photo right here. Okay, so that's what I wore to my interview. I just kept it simple, black and white. You can't go wrong. I mean, some people are a little nervous. Should I try color? Should I do this and this and this? I've been to so many like interview classes. One, getting out of the Army, they make you go through how to be, professional, successful out there in the civilian world. So I had that class. And then when I was in my dental assisting program, they also do the same thing, walk you through how to be professional, so that it's not you just getting a certificate, it's you getting the skills that you need to go get a job. I can give you this certificate that says you're good at dental assisting, but if you can't get through an interview, then, I mean, what did I really do for you? So I dressed professionally. My interview did not even feel like an interview, y'all. I felt like I was talking to somebody I didn't know for my whole life. And maybe that means that I was just comfortable and confident in myself. Because like I said, I know that I want to be a dental hygienist. Like there's no ands, ifs, anything, no doubt in my mind that I want to do this. So when I went in, basically my interview was, hey, are you ready for this? If you get into the program, are you really ready? Do you think about housing? How are you going to pay for your housing? Do you have anything that's going to stop you from completing this program? Whether that's kids, spouses, health issue. Are you able to put in the time? Like, do you know that this requires you to be here a lot? Do you know that you're not going to be able to work while you're in this dental hygiene program? All of that. So they basically wanted to know, like, was my head in this? Did I think about all these things that could possibly be hiccups in my journey to dental hygiene? And like I said, I had an answer for everything. Childcare. Okay, my daughter will not be with me while I attend the dental hygiene program. She will be with her dad. Check. I don't have to come home and cook for anybody, help anybody for homework. I knew that I could not do that. I knew I could not give my child the attention that she would need while I was in the dental hygiene program. Her is been raised by a village. Like, I can genuinely say so many people have had a hand in how she is being raised. So yeah, I did not want to take her out of that situation and put her in this situation where I would just not have the time or energy to give her what she needed. So childcare, check. I didn't have an issue. They asked me how I was going to pay for school. The Army is going to pay for my school. I have post 9/11 GI Bill for my schooling. It basically covers school up to 36 months of school they will cover. So even though I did dental assisting, I still had enough to cover my dental hygiene journey that I'm in right now. With my post 9/11, you get a military housing allowance. So they will be paying me basically money for rent, like to pay my rent and my bills. So that's fine. So even though they're paying me to like essentially have a place to stay, that does not mean I'm about to go over here and max it out. That would be dumb. So my daughter's not here. I don't need nothing fancy. I just need somewhere to lay my head. I'm not here to party. I'm not here to kick it. None of that. I'm here to come, sit down, do my homework, and study. That is it. That is all. If that's not the mindset that you have, you do not need to apply for a dental hygiene program, because then you will not give yourself the opportunity to succeed. That's just me being honest. Okay, so after they question you about all that, and pretty much that's just them trying to see where your head is, they'll ask you if you have any more questions. This is the time to, if it's something that your advisor told you that you're not really clear on, you're sitting with the directors, you're sitting with their bosses. So this is a good time to say whatever you need to get out. Hey, is this the date that I'm going to find out if I got in or not? All of that. Ask your questions. Everybody at my school, they were like, yep, okay. They will answer your questions. They are there to genuinely help you. So after that, you pretty much go home and you wait. So my interview was, I believe, a week before I found out. So I basically went to my interview, and then a week later I found out, hey, you got into the program. So the time frame. So I would also say that. So from the date that I applied to this school to the time I found out would be, I would say, about 5 to 6 months. So I would say I have started looking into the school in May, and I found out that I actually got into the program in October. So a lot of you guys already know that I found out actually on Halloween, which is one of my favorite holidays. So I feel like that was a sign too, because graduation is on Halloween also. So, yeah, so you're not gonna like apply, like this is an actual process. Like it wasn't just one trip to Vegas that I did multiple trips from Vegas to California. I did multiple trips. Like I had to put in time off requests at my job, get them approved. I came Saturday to take tests. Like, yeah, so you really have to be invested, and you really have to have a plan for what exactly you're going to do in order to get into the hygiene program, and not just that, but succeed once you get accepted.